Hello, and thank you for joining us on Marstream, your public performance broadcast platform. My name is Brian Williamson, General Manager for the Marsh. We are excited tonight to feature on our Wildcard Tuesday series, Healing from Within, a sound journey with restorative yoga. A welcomed evening, I'm sure after last week, we all need. Very quickly, as many of you may know, our theater doors still remain closed and we are unable to invite folks in for live performances. So this free streaming performance is brought to you by patrons just like yourself, all who donate to our tip jar. The link is posted in the chat and is also available on our website, themarsh.org. We ask that you please consider making a 100% match tax-deductible donation so we may continue to bring these free streaming performances to you and our community. If you are watching live on our YouTube channel, welcome and thank you for joining us. Please make sure you subscribe and watch the hours of free performances, interviews, and events we have archived. Tomorrow on Solo Arts Heal, we have Melissa Bangs and a performance excerpt from her show, Playing Monopoly with God. Thursday is an instant replay of Marsh founder Stephanie Weissman's interview with Ellen Sebastian Chang. Friday, we have CJ's Fitnessing and Bingo with Josh Kornbluth. On Saturday, Melissa Banks is back with her full show, Playing Monopoly with God. And on Sunday is Brian Copeland's The Waiting Period. A busy week here on the Marstream, and we hope you will join us. So again, please visit our tip jar. Thank you for joining us. And now, let's welcome Val Jew and guest with Healing from Within.
Hello, everybody. It's wonderful to be with you tonight. Welcome to this very special evening where we have a sound healing for you once again. I want to just review that in the Marsh Wildcard Tuesdays, we are archived. So any of our previous recordings, you're welcome to go back and enjoy those. I want to acknowledge this year of sound healing, sound baths, and sound journeys with the artists that were so warm and wonderful in bringing their time and energy to do these recordings and bring them to you every other month. Tonight is a duet with Ward Spangler and Jeannie McKenzie. If you recall, we began our sound healings this year with Ward entitled In the Moment. And then we moved on to Jeannie McKenzie to connecting with ourselves. Our third artist was Laura Inserra, I-N-S-E-R-R-A, with Inner Landscapes. And we end the year with Healing from Within. We air tonight, and then we'll air again on Tuesday, December 8th, even though I mentioned in the video December 10th, it is Tuesday, December 8th. I want to acknowledge all of these sound artists for spending time to bring you a pause, a moment to relax and let go of anything that happens on a daily basis in your life that either takes you away from just some internal peace and to enjoy your time, our time with you. Tonight, I want to invite Jeannie and Ward to begin a discussion with me about these words that we've coined as healing from within. And what does that actually mean to each of us as we present this video tonight to you? I joined Jeannie and Ward in offering restorative poses, and I'll talk a little bit about those as we have our conversation about healing from within. But I want to just begin with Ward and ask, what are those words and what do they mean to you as a performer, especially with sound healings? When we talk about a healing and sound, how do those even go together? So hi, Ward. It's good to have you again with me, and welcome. Yeah, I'd love to hear a little bit about what you kind of consider your sounds, the instruments that you play, and how they take a part in helping people to restore.
Great. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you great. Thank you for asking.
Okay. Well, I got into sound healing through my experience with yoga, and I've been doing yoga as a practitioner for a long time. And I got an opportunity to perform with a yoga retreat. So I came up with what I thought was relaxing. And I've been doing this for several years, I found it to be a real release for me to be able to play all my fun instruments, set them up and get them going and create this huge sonority of sound. But I realize that all of the ideas that I pull from while I'm making up my sound bath really go way back to me starting in the fourth grade. I mean, I was really excited about playing music then, as I still am now. And it's this something that you get that's inside you. And I think all musicians experience this. You have, of course, hours of serious training, which I eventually got to in college, but maybe not so much in the beginning. But the connection between going and practicing and playing and what your body feels like is really something that's coming from within. You're really healing yourself when you're playing music, even though it's not exactly spelled out that way. And it's thrilling. It's wonderful to perform. That's all part of this healing within. And so really, it's the culmination of these years of performing all different kinds of music, and then putting together a sound bath that is for people to sit and relax, that is really brought this whole idea of healing from within, and the energy and the responses in your body that allow you to just take a break from everything else going around you. You're totally listening to what you're doing, if you're doing it right. Now, not every performance can you stay focused, and especially those really scary ones. It's really difficult. If you get distracted, that's the trouble. If you stay focused, you're healing from within, you're also able to really focus on your performance. And it usually comes out a lot better and more fun. So that's how I'm thinking about the general picture of healing from within.
Yeah, I like your perspective as a performer, and I know that we had a conversation about when we even begin to think about participating in a sound healing, sound bath, or sound journey, that already our body starts to feel some sort of relaxation, maybe a slowing of the breath. I know for me, I just get excited that I'm going to have this time away from my to-do list to be able to just let go. And so as a recipient of the music that you're giving to us as a gift, I can just allow myself to float away. And so as a recipient, it's really a gift that you're giving to us. Jeannie, how about you? Oh, did you want to say something else, Ward?
I was just going to say, I think everybody has something that gets them in a zone, so to speak, of relaxation. And if you can find whatever that mechanism is, you can put it to your benefit. If you're having a bad day or whatever it is, bring out those things that you find that help you relax. Could be just listening to music. Just take the time.
I think you were mentioning a little bit about music too, and you were just saying that if there are sounds, like if there's a bad experience, and really when I'm thinking about these sound healings, that there isn't really a bad experience, because some of the notes that may be dissonant or not appealing to us is really oscillating within our body and opening up spaces. So during these performances, if there's any tension that anybody feels, I would just say, just ride it like you would a wave, and know that those notes are going to come and go, and then you may experience another note or instrument, which is much more pleasant and will allow you to come back into a more open space. Jeannie, joining us. Good to see you, our second sound healing artist this year who did Connecting with Ourselves. If you think about all the titles of our sound healing journeys or sound baths, they're all about ourselves. And I really feel that it does start with ourselves. Anything that we're going through, we need to direct our attention to ourselves first and ask, what is it that I can do to have those ripples go out for me, which are more resonant and not full of tension or anxiety. So Jeannie, hi, and healing from within. I'd like to hear a little bit from you about those words.
Well, it's interesting because as Ward was speaking, I was thinking about how music through my life from my early years was what it was almost like my deepest pathway into myself was through my explorations of music as a violinist. And it was my way of connecting, playing music with people in a way that freed me. So that's kind of where my desire to collaborate started. But the music itself and sound itself, I remember a moment when my violin was stepped on and a sound came out of me that I'd never heard a sound like that before. And it went on and on and on, and it had all these overtones. And this is when I was probably 22. And a few days later, I'm walking around in the Haight-Ashbury and I see this sign that this woman, Jill Peirce, was coming to teach Tibetan overtone chanting. And I was like, never heard of it before, but I had a feeling like that had to do with what I had just done. And so that workshop was profound for me. And then as I studied bodywork, I started using sounds, using my voice to sing into people's bodies to clear tension and clear blocks. But the thing that I started doing later was guiding people to use their own voices in their bodies. And as we start the sound journey that you all are going to experience, I ask you to hum. And humming is one of the really powerful ways that we can heal ourselves. It's the simplest thing we can do. We start doing it when we're little kids. And the power of humming, it releases oxytocin, which is one of our kind of feel-good hormones. It increases our circulation. It lowers our blood pressure. It's like, this is without using any pharmaceuticals. We have the ability to lower our heart rate, lower our blood pressure, and it releases endorphins, which are kind of like our natural opiates that release pain from our bodies. So when we're doing the humming part, I really feel like that is a deep place to begin the healing from within. I guide you to hum in different parts of your body and do what you can. Use your voice freely. I just walk around humming sometimes. I just hum softly to myself sometimes. If I feel a little bit off or I'm driving and it feels stressful, I find myself humming. And it doesn't have to be loud. It can be, doesn't matter. But there's something about that vibration of humming that is one of the most beneficial sounds we can make and one of the most kind of self-soothing sounds. And you can play with it and direct it to different places in your body. If I feel like something's going on in my lower back, I might just imagine that place and just start humming. And just play, well, here's a pitch that feels good here. And not worrying about right or wrong, but just being present with that. It's like one of our superpowers that we don't even realize we have. So I want to make that comment because if you feel at all shy about it in the beginning, I recommend that you really engage because it will allow you to deepen into the whole experience in a more rich and thorough way of your own, I believe, of your own healing from within. You'll find out for yourself, but give it a try. And then another thing that I have done a lot of work with is a mantra. There's a mantra called the Gayatri Mantra that when I first found the singing bowl that you'll hear me singing with, I started singing that and singing every day. And as I started singing with it, I started seeing acupuncture points on the planet, in my land, started seeing these vortexes of energy, and felt called to sing not a particular melody, but whatever the land was calling me to sing. But the Gayatri Mantra is one of the oldest mantras for compassion. And the meaning is salutations to the great sound present in the earth, the heavens, and that which is beyond. May the glorious light of the divine sun illuminate and guide our consciousness. So that combination of sound and light is so powerful. So I think that's all I have to say.
Thank you so much. I think one of the things that you're illuminating for me is that even though we see Ward surrounded by these beautiful percussion instruments, and even though we see you surrounded by beautiful singing bowls and drums, that our body is an instrument, and we can create sounds with our body that allows us to make music and then to vibrate and then to invoke the healing from within. So the humming, I love your explanation of the humming, that you don't have to have any particular musical background to hum. Just do it any volume you want. I invite you, as Jeannie will during our video, to experiment with humming as she plays her violin. And then this weekend I had the opportunity of going to the snow, and one of the things I experimented was listening to the sound of my footsteps in the crunch of the snow. And I can change the tempo of that. I can change the sort of the force of it, the lightness of it. So I really encourage all of you to really think of your body as an instrument. And each part of your body resonates with different tones. So let's just say that Jeannie's playing a particular singing bowl, and you'll know that each one resonates at a different tone. So she hits the singing bowl, or she gets the sound to go. And if you're just in a relaxed state, some part of your body, maybe many parts of your body, are responding to that tone. And then if she hits another one, or if Ward plays the chimes or the gongs, then another part of your body is resonating. And every time all of those parts of your body resonate, there's a clearing. They vibrate, they release. We can release tensions by shaking our body. We can release tensions by tapping our body. We can release tensions by our breath. And so all of these kinds of things that we're in control of, that we can, again, allow to oscillate or free form, that's our healing from within. Those are the instruments that we're playing and allowing to voice themselves and do what they need to do to bring us back into balance. One of the things I do want to talk about is you're doing a duet tonight. And anytime we've introduced these sound healing, sound bath, sound journeys, it's been solo. So tonight we go duet. And Ward, I'm just wondering, when you're playing with Jeannie, or if you were to do a sound healing with another person, what are some of the considerations in like getting the instruments? I mean, it's not a symphony, we're just doing very simple ones, but what are some of the things that you're thinking about as you're working alongside Jeannie?
Not covering her up is one of the main things. But we've been doing this for a year. I think she invited me to come play at her last birthday. It was a year ago. And I spontaneously ran over to her house with a few instruments, and we had maybe 15 people celebrating her birthday, and we did a sound bath for them. But since COVID and the shelter in place, we've been playing up at Sibley Volcanic Park on Sunday afternoons and a couple of Saturdays and maybe a few Fridays. And we've really learned a lot playing together and just having fun doing this duet. And of course, I've learned a lot from Jeannie, because as you can probably tell from hearing us, we have very different backgrounds in how we've come to this. So I've learned a terrific amount from her. And what I feel for our duet coming up was a much more intimate quietness. And she explained to me about healing from within, and I think I got it at least more than I had before. So it's not so much of a jam session as a really integration between our sounds.
Great, thank you, Ward. Jeannie, what about when you're playing with Ward? What kind of things are going through your mind? One of the things I did want to mention is, it's not always so much the music. It's not always so much the note that you hear or the instrument that you hear, but a lot of times it's the silence. It's the silence between the notes or the pauses between the notes where the body gets to rest and to again, kind of float away. So as you're listening tonight, if there are sounds that are calling you, also listen to the silence that might be calling to you as well. Jeannie, playing a duet with Ward?
Well, I have been really enjoying the qualities of sound, and it's like the palette of colors is so expanded when I get to play with Ward, and Ward is a really masterful musician. So it's really kind of an honor and a delight to get to play with what he's doing. And I feel like my practice as a player in Sound Journeys is deeply listening and finding, it's like I'm trying to listen to, well, what's this field that we're occupying together? And where is there an instrument that I have that is going to support the magic of the moment? So sometimes there's kind of a bouncing off of each other that we'll do. Sometimes it's more supporting each other, it feels like. Sometimes it's more conversational. Sometimes it's more like layering. But I feel like there's a way when one of the things I love about collaboration and duets is that I feel like there's a way that my mind and my thinking just kind of goes out the window, and I'm really not doing, it's a being. And that space of being where I'm just in responding. It's like there's some animal part of me that is just responding to the sound and feeling how, and I should say that I feel like I listen from my heart, that's a big part of it too. Is like how music is such a language of the heart. So how are we speaking in this language of the heart that isn't something that my mental constructs are tracking so clearly? It's more just, how do I expand my heart and hold that heart space in a bigger way? And one of the things about doing it, like when we do it in Sibley, it's a conversation with trees and birds and this bigger, not only the field of us, but this bigger field that we're part of. And so I'm hoping that in our imaginations, we're holding this field of this bigger group of people, whoever it is that is listening, that we're playing for, out of time and space for what is now.
Great, thank you, Jeannie. I want to take the next few minutes to just say that in the chat room, you'll see each of our email addresses. We welcome any conversation with any one of you in our audience about our work, about words that we have spoken tonight. We're happy to, again, dialogue with you. Ward and Jeannie, they pair up and they offer sound baths at Ward's house. And if you connect with either one of them, they're happy to let you know about that. That's an outdoor event, free to all of you, and it's live, person to person, but definitely social distancing. Jeannie offers Qigong and plant sensing classes. I'm sure that you would love to be a part of that. And as for me, I think most of you know that are here tonight during this COVID time. Now our sound healing ending. I'm very involved in offering Reiki. I have practitioners that we meet with me, and we send Reiki to whoever and wherever we can, as often as we can. Other than that, I just teach a few classes for Oakland Unified. So my involvement in the community is a little bit less now. I want to let you know that our intention for our sound healing comes from our heart. And we are here tonight for you, together with you, even though these videos are recorded. When we're gathered together, the three of us or two of us or however many there are, we're intending that this is time for you to be with yourself and your loved ones and to have a healing naturally unfold in whatever way it can and will. So I do see one more person's picture in my field, and I just want to again thank Jim Holton for his absolute flexibility and willingness to record these videos. Truthfully, without him behind the scenes, we probably would not have been able to bring these videos to you via the platform that we're in tonight. And you'll see in the video, I have a warm and wonderful regard for Stephanie Weissman and Brian Williamson for all of their fantastic work. I welcome all of you, and I'm happy that you're here with us tonight. I encourage you to find a quiet place in your home. You really don't need many props. Tonight's restoratives that I'm introducing you to, you can have pillows or blankets, and I'll walk you through all of them. If you don't have them, just find a quiet place to be. Again, receive what you hear with your heart. Let your mind go, just free float. Images that may come, allow them to come and go. And let the restoratives give you a way to receive the work that Jeannie and Ward are bringing to you tonight. Healing from within. Thank you, everybody, very much.
Good evening. We're happy that you're here tonight. Your presence means a lot to us. My name is Valerie. I'm a Reiki practitioner and a yoga teacher in the Bay Area. After 27 years of teaching and now retired, I'm involved with students, helping them to adapt to their new learning environment. I have two wonderful musicians with me tonight, Jeannie McKenzie and Ward Spangler, and I'll let them introduce themselves. Ward.
Hi, I'm Ward Spangler, and it's great to be with you tonight. I've been playing music throughout the Bay Area for many years, and over the last 2 years, I've been playing sound baths. Over the last 7 months, I've had the privilege of playing with Jeannie McKenzie, sound bath duets.
Hi, I'm Jeannie, and I have a passion for sounds and exploration. And for many years, I taught music to children and assisted them in their process of discovery of what is the joy of music. And so, as I've been practicing and playing in different bands over the years, I've really enjoyed the deepening that's happened as I've been exploring the singing bowls and this sound journey practice, and really enjoy sharing this collaborative process with Ward, and am delighted that we will be giving this little sound journey to you this evening to enjoy.
A warm thank you to Stephanie Weissman, Artistic Director and founder of The Marsh. A warm thank you to Brian Williamson for all the hours behind the scenes. Tonight, we bring you our last sound healing. We will air again on December 10th. We hope that you'll join us for that. If you've missed any of our recordings, they're all on themarsh.org. Feel free to go there and enjoy them at any time. The Marsh offers many different performances during the week. If you get the opportunity, go to their tip jar located on their website and give to them. Our sound healing events began when my neighbor Marianne Walsh and I took walks. We had each been to our own sound healing events and knew the benefits and wanted to bring these to you. In January of 2020, we had our first live sound healing at the Marsh in Berkeley in an intimate setting where 20 people received guided restorative poses and Reiki. And then COVID hit, and Stephanie and Brian, through their creativity, brought the Marsh online and asked us to come along. Our performance tonight is Healing from Within. It's the combined efforts of the two people that you just met, Jeannie and Ward. With their talent and their musical delivery, we are able to go within and have an unfolding happen. We can step back and we can listen to the sounds, rhythms, and vibrations that transport us, suspend time, stillness, and ease are offered. During this time, you can sit, stand, or lay down, or a combination of all three. You should find a place in your house where you feel absolutely comfortable and safe, and spend some time to gather a blanket for warmth and maybe a few props like pillows. Again, it's your decision how you would really like to enjoy this performance in any manner that you would like. The first restorative that I want to offer is actually a seated restorative. And to do this, I have a wall behind me, and I'm going to scoot back against that wall. You also notice that I'm sitting on a blanket, which gives me a little bit of height and allows for an openness in the front body as well as the back body. My back is against the wall, so I don't have to worry about staying propped up, or I don't have this hunched over pose. And then I'm going to use blankets. So I have 2 rolled blankets that I've put underneath each of my knees. Now, in place of those, I can also use pillows, and I can place those under my knees. So whatever's available to you right now, go ahead and grab those if you can, and be in this seated pose. For those of you who would like to extend your legs, you can always, one at a time, take one of the legs and then the second leg and just allow them to drop open. And again, find the back body against that support. If it's available to you, go ahead and close your eyes. And if not, a simple gaze toward the floor. And begin to just lower the head slightly, allowing, again, this sense of ease through the shoulders, dropping them away from the lower lobes of your ears, the openness of the front body, the support of the back body, and my knees dropping into these supports underneath, blankets or pillows. And now with your ears and with your heart receiving, your ears listening, welcoming the sounds, and feeling the vibrations within your body as Ward and Jeannie play.
One of the ways we can connect within is by humming. Humming is a beautiful way to bring vibration through all of the parts of your body and to soothe the vagus nerve, which is what's responsible for the ease of our digestion, the ease of our minds. So I'm going to invite you on a little exploration of your body with humming. So all you have to do is close your mouth and let your voice vibrate through. Exploring the sound of the hum in your head. Letting your brain soften with the sound of the hum. Gliding your hum down into your chest and your heart. Feel it resonating through the bones of your spine. Down, down, into the bones of your pelvis and your legs. Through your feet, the hum. Soften down. To settle deeply into yourself.
Beginning to notice any sensations within your body, whether it's a slowing of your breath, whether there's stillness in your mind, any ease through the muscles of the arms and the legs. Taking one hand and placing it over your heart. Taking your other hand and placing it over your belly. Letting the upper arms rest, having a place at the side of your body. Noting your breath, your in-breath and your out-breath. And then slowly, when you're ready, you can always stay where you are if you like. Begin to open your eyes softly and start to gaze around you. The second restorative pose is a side lying pose. I'm going to take this blanket underneath my knee and I'm going to open it up and just place it here for my head for some support. I'm going to take this other blanket and I'm going to open it up as well, but I'm going to make it a little bit longer than the other one. I'll fold this in half and then fold it lengthwise in half. Slowly, I'll begin to ease down, taking this blanket from underneath my sit bones and removing it. You may want to use this third blanket as a cover for your body to stay warm. I'm coming down onto my side body. For me, I'm coming down onto my right side, slowly lowering my head to this blanket, but gradually easing this other one between my legs from my knees all the way down, supporting the lower or bottoms of my feet. Laying down, resting, taking my top arm and just letting it lay against the top side of my body, but letting my hand come to the belly. And then positioning my head, again closing your eyes and receiving these beautiful sounds that I hear and I know that you hear as well. Any sounds that you may hear that seem a little sharp to you or a little dissonant, allow those still to come and filter through the body, opening up spaces, providing some healing from within. Noticing the rhythm of your breath, the filling and the emptying of your belly, your back body. Noting the top of your head, bringing awareness to your eyes. Feeling that movement of air through the end of your nose as you breathe in and you breathe out. Noting any softness in your jaw and in your neck. Feeling that forward fold of the shoulders as you rest on your side. All the weight on one side and the absence of weight on the other. Noting the weight on one side of your hip and no weight on the other. Following that curved pattern of your legs, knees bent. Coming down to your feet, the soles of your feet. Breathing in and breathing out. If you want to stay here, you can. If you want to join us for the last restorative, gently ease your eyes open. Take this blanket between your legs. Use the arms to bring yourself up. And place this blanket here so that the balls of your feet can go on top. I'm going to turn onto my back body. Easing down, letting my head rest on this blanket. And then placing my feet on the blanket down below so that my heels are touching the floor, but the arches and the balls of the feet and the toes are resting on the blanket. Shifting my shoulders a little back and forth, just finding that place where both shoulder blades are in contact with the floor. An evenness of weight through my hips. And again, this softness in my neck, letting the head be heavy on the blanket, supporting it. Taking my hands and for a moment again, laying them on my belly, my upper arms supported by the floor. And any filling and emptying that you feel in your belly, know that that's also a rhythm, a vibration like the sounds that you've been listening to. And then slowly again, maybe a little rock back and forth with the head to find a place where it rests easily. Closing your eyes if it's available to you. And once again, receiving and listening to these sounds, to these vibrations that allow healing from within.
Salutations to the great sound present in the earth, the heavens, and that which is beyond. May the glorious light of the divine sun illuminate and guide our consciousness. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
watching our breath, taking those quiet moments to listen to sounds within our own home, waiting and allowing. Before we ease out of tonight's program, taking your hands and placing them over your eyes, noticing the sensation of your own touch and anything it may provide for your mind, your heart, and your soul. Taking your hands and placing them over your heart, noticing any subtle changes that may have occurred during this hour. And then slowly rolling over onto your right side, using your lower arm as a pillow to your head, pausing there for a moment. Again, allowing all of those sounds to drift in and drift out, taking away whatever they want to take and offering whatever they offer. And then using the strength of your arms and your hands to slowly come up, lifting your head last, coming back into a seated position. And perhaps you're still laying there and resting. As I watch and listen, I hear Ward's intention in his playing. And as I watch and listen, Jeannie, I see her patience waiting for the notes to come to arrive. We thank you for being with us tonight. I acknowledge both the presence of Jeannie and Ward, and behind the scenes, Jim Holton doing our filming. We wish you well. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you live in ease. Thank you.